So the Lord wants to set us free from the bondage and the slavery of sin. Look, for instance, at Romans chapter 6, verse 6. Knowing this, that our old man was crucified with him, that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves of sin. You know, one way a slave is set free? Through death. When we are dead, we are free from sin. How do we find freedom from sin? It's not I that live, but Christ lives in me. I am crucified with Christ. Jesus said, come take up your cross and follow me. When we are crucified with Christ, we die with Christ. We no longer have to live lives of sin. Do you notice that, have you ever been to a funeral and you know the coffin is there in the front and people get up and then they say all these things about the deceased? And I've seen some interesting testimony services. I'm always a little nervous at funerals when you open the floor and you say, would anyone like to say anything about our beloved brother or sister? Because you never know what people are going to say. Most of these folks are not trained speakers. And I remember I was at this one Christian, ostensibly Christian funeral. Everybody thought this gentleman that was in the coffin was just a wonderful person. And then they opened the floor and one buddy got up and said, boy, you know, we used to have so much fun when we went out fishing and drinking. And boy, could he tell some jokes. And he started talking about his jokes, and it was like, everyone, can you hurry this up, please? Everybody was a little bit mortified. But you know what? The guy in the coffin didn't complain. It didn't embarrass him at all, because he was dead. No matter what you say about the person who's dead, they're never offended because they're dead. You know, if you're easily offended because of what people say, you're probably not crucified with Christ. But when you're crucified with Christ and you're meek, you just say, oh, well, you know, that person's dead. You can throw rocks all you want. It's very liberating when you're dead, when you don't live unto the flesh because you're crucified with Christ. That's where you find that freedom. 1 Corinthians 6:20.